ऐसे यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जाम 2024 में सेक्शन ए में जो तीसरा ऐसे आया हुआ है उसको हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे. So the topic given is there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. The statement or the topic which is given for the essay, you must understand first that there is no path towards happiness. Happiness itself is a path. So this is regarding our life. We don't know the things before our life. We can anticipate, we can predict, we can make theories of. We don't know after the life. There are many theories, there are many beliefs, there are many hypotheses regarding the death, post-death condition. So in between, because life is also accident, death is also accident. We cannot choose where to take birth, from where, which place, which parents, which place, which status, which social group. This is not in our hand. Similarly, death is not certain when to take place and how. So कहने का मतलब है, जो स्टेटमेंट है कि कोई पाथ टुवर्ड्स हैप्पीनेस नहीं है. हैप्पीनेस इज नॉट ए डेस्टिनेशन. द हैप्पीनेस इज द पाथ. मीन्स वॉट एवर लाइफ वी आर लीडिंग, we are not doing something to achieve something happiness, but the life itself is happiness. So it's not that life is means and there are certain ends of happiness to use this means. This path, this life is itself happiness. If the present is not happy, you cannot expect about any particular destination or future or objectives where you will get any kind of happiness. So first you need to understand the topic. यहाँ means and ends के रूप में what is happiness. Many times it is considered as sum total of pleasure. So hedonistic calculus or Bentham calculus, Felicus calculus says sum total of pleasure minus sum total of pain is utility, maximizing pleasures and minimizing pains. Although later that theory was also modified, that there are difference in quality of pleasure. There is moral dimension in pleasure. Collective pleasure is better than individualistic pleasure, and so on. So this is how pleasure or happiness is being correlated, but many times we have to distinguish between them. Happiness is a positive value-laden word, while pleasure also may be sadist pleasure. By many people may get pleasure or by inflicting harm to others. Gandhi in among Seven Sins also discussed that pleasure without consciousness is one of the sin. So there is a concept of good and right. सही होना चाहिए या अच्छा होना चाहिए. So right, most of the moral thinkers talk about right, because whatever is right is for all, inclusive. Whatever good is good may be for one and it may be bad for others. So ये जो है बात, जो स्टेटमेंट है कि जो टॉपिक गिवन है कि लाइफ का जो कोई पाथ टुवर्ड्स हैप्पीनेस नहीं है. So happiness is itself a path. How you become happy? Many people believe that material happiness, like good food, good clothes, good places to have destination, good people to meet, they are happiness. So there is material happiness, there is spiritual happiness. Many people believe that material happiness is short-lived, it is not permanent, it is not truth. The spiritual happiness of joining with the God or the meditation or self-realization is the real happiness. So many great people like Buddha, Mahavir, Jain, Jesus Christ, Krishna, Ram, Muhammad Sahab, great personalities, Abraham, Moses, there are great personalities in history. They have downplayed the material happiness, they have focused more on spiritual happiness, and many left the material happiness voluntarily, deliberately. Like Buddha or Jain, they were belonging to royal family, they had all bounty of, they were having silver spoons, they were born in bed with roses, but they left it. So they left it, they were not forced to leave it. They themselves left that because they considered that that life was not giving the real happiness. और बुद्धा से पूछा गया कि उन्होंने मैं वो लग्जरी का जीवन जी चुका हूँ 0 to 29 years, और एक्सट्रीम पेन का भी जिंदगी जी चुका हूँ 29 to 35 years. So after that he concluded that middle path was the right path, and the nirvana means one के पार यानी complete peace of mind, that was giving him a real happiness, durable happiness, understanding truths of life. And once you understand the truth of life after enlightenment, that gives you sustainable pleasure, sustainable happiness. तो सबका हैप्पीनेस का कॉन्सेप्ट अलग अलग है. मेटेरियल हैप्पीनेस, स्पिरिचुअल हैप्पीनेस. कोई कहेगा हैप्पीनेस इज ड्यू टू कर्म कांड, इफ यू गो फॉर यज्ञ, sacrifices, and then you get happiness that I have done something good. Nowadays kumbh snan is going on, people are becoming happy by taking dip in the holy water. They believe that their sins will be washed out and they will be getting amrit, they will be getting religious merit, and the happiness of is futuristic, that in future they will get heaven, not hell. So these are interpretations about heaven and hell. So regarding happiness, some believe karma kand, some believe karma. Theory of karma, Buddha, Mahavir, Jain, Upanishad, they believed in theory of karma rather than karma kandas. And the philosophical concept of Brahm also came, Atma and Brahm came in Upanishad for the first time. This concept of spirit and Atma was there also in Western world, pre-Christian period. Plato also believed that the happiness lies in development of both body and the soul. Body is developed through gymnastic and soul is developed through music. So that gives you pleasure. Some believe that happiness lies in bhakti, loving devotion. So Alvar and Nayanar and bhakti, like Guru Nanak and Kabir, and all those believed in bhakti and Sufi and music and reaching out towards God. That gives the real happiness. So some believed in moksha, nirvana, kaivalya, karma marg, karma kand marg, jnana marg, bhakti marg. There are so many marg, and most of the religions believe that there are concept of heaven and hell, jannat and jahannam, swarg and nark. And if you do good things, religious things, if you are moral, then you get jannat or heaven, otherwise you will get hell. So that is futuristic. So happiness is quite subjective concept, but we have certain common parameters. Happiness for some would be different, happiness for some would be different. Bentham also gave hedonistic calculus for calculating many kinds of pleasures and pain. So happiness जो है वो in the process of life itself है. Like in all walks of life, many people they say that work is worship. काम ही पूजा है, मुझे काम करने में ही मजा आता है. सचिन तेंदुलकर कहते हैं कि I love playing cricket. I don't play cricket for only profession, earning money, fame, and all that. This not that that is the means, and then I will get happiness based on the fame and the money that I get by playing cricket. I enjoy playing cricket. Means वो cricket खेलने में ही मेरा happiness है. So those people who have believed in such philosophy that work is worship, for them work is not a burden. They don't go out for some places to visit, or some leave, or Sundays, or like some leisure for finding out happiness in other spheres. They enjoy their work and they are involved in work, and their success in work gives them happiness. The journey itself is giving them happiness. Otherwise, most of the people are working till last of their life, even though they have self-sufficiency, even if they have surplus. But once that becomes in habit, once you start enjoying that, then you are in the process. So process itself is giving you happiness rather than the destination or ends or any particular objective to achieve. Because that was also realized sooner or later by most of the people, because it was asked by a saint from Alexander, why you are doing so, why you are killing so many people, why you are expanding, why you are coming out from home for so many years. He's saying that to conquer the whole world. And after conquering the whole world, what you will do? I will take rest. So he said, I'm taking rest. Come, join me. Take rest. Why you are going for all those things? And his statement proved right. Ultimately, Sikandar Alexander could not meet his family members. And in the last leg of his life, he could not get any relief by doctors. He wanted 6 more hours, and he was ready to give his empire for that. So, in that case, the saint, those who are experienced, those who have seen the ups and downs of the life, they find that happiness is quite different from whatever is being conceived or whatever is being believed, that ultimately these things will be achieved and then happiness will be achieved. So this is how we see, we have to elaborate this based on historical examples, based on Indian history, based on great personalities, based on Western history, and based on also modern thinking that I gave the theory of Bentham, J.S. Mill, how he modified the theory of utilitarian theory by adding moral dimension, collective dimension, and qualitative dimension in happiness, sorrow theory. So happiness minus sorrow is whatever is utility. Happiness is sum total of pleasure, some sorrow is sum total of pain. And individual rationality suggests that you have to maximize your pleasure and minimize your pains to maximize your utility. So you have to apply it at all levels, at personal level. You have to give historical examples. You have to give the examples of great personalities. You have to highlight the different dimensions of happiness, as I discussed. Material happiness. You can give the example of the Indian philosophical example. जब तक जियो घी पी के जियो, चाहे ऋण लेना पड़े उसके लिए. So that materialism was there also in our philosophical school, ancient philosophical school. So this is how we have to elaborate this, and you have to apply this with great personalities. Like in Brahminical tradition, focus is on darshan, faith, that by that you get happiness, while in Buddhist tradition, dhyan, vairagya, journey within gives you the real happiness. And in most of the cases, what we see that when human beings have evolved, and instead of monarchy, democracy gives us more happiness in spite of many weaknesses. So we have switched to democracy. More than 140 countries of the world have switched to democracy, because in democracy there are liberty, equality, fraternity, life, liberty, property, human rights, right of self-determination, free press, tolerance to criticism, separation of powers, checks and balance, rule of law, free and fair election. So separation of power, decentralization of powers, participation of the people in decision-making process, that gives you happiness, sense of empowerment, sense of ownership, that gives you happiness. So the quest for happiness is ongoing, has evolved and keep on evolving. And it's not only at individual level, it is also at the societal level, at family level. Like many people believe that the real happiness is there whenever your family is happy, a son is happy, then father and mother are happy. Kautilya in Arthashastra also wrote that in the happiness of subjects, happiness of king lies, and there in sorrow, there sorrow. So king is just like father to their subjects. Father cannot be happy if his children is not happy. So this is how derivative happiness, that you derive happiness from the happiness of your close, nears and dears. And also that happiness index is being there. Like Scandinavian countries, Finland is top, be it Finland, be it Norway, be it the other Scandinavian, Sweden, Denmark. They are top in human development index, top in life expectancy, education attainment, standard of living, equality, lack of corruption, lack of crime. While the more prosperous countries like America, Australia, Canada, Japan, East European countries are lying low in Human Development Index. Similarly, Bhutan for so long was focusing on its happiness index, a simple primitive life close to nature, not going for industrialization, urbanization. Now they are changing their course because change is the law of the world. So the things are keep on changing, and the concepts of happiness also keeps on changing. But there are certain things which are there in human life for time immemorial. The sorrow, because Buddha said that uh, life is full of sorrow. जीवन दुखमयी है, और यह दुख जब तक इंसान जिंदा रहेगा, जब तक प्रकृति रहेगी, तब तक ये दुख साय के इंसान के साथ रहेगा. This is also being said that dukkha is inevitable, but he also gave a Stangic mark or eightfold path of right views, right livelihood, right intent, right mindfulness, and likes for samyak means rightful things to lead a happy life. Similarly, different scholars like Manu in his Manusmriti said, Dharma, Arth, Kam, Moksha. These are the four objectives of life. Dharma means following duty based on Varna Ashram Dharma. Dharma, Arth means earning livelihood, then sexual pleasure and reproduction and increasing your family. And Moksha, that liberation from the cycles of birth and death, that is the post-death happiness that is in different religion. It is being called differently. Enlightenment or liberation from the repeated cycle of birth and death, because many believe that life is full of sorrow. But there is materialistic school that I referred to Charvak. Charvak is a materialist school in our ancient philosophy. Materialism does not believe in any pre-life or post-life situation. They believe that whatever life we have to extract maximum happiness from this life itself. Most of the thinkers um, um, like in southern India, Periyar believed that there is only one life. He in fact believed in atheism, that there is no God. Bhagat Singh also believed in atheism. It does not mean that only believing in God gives you happiness. Many times the things which are man-made has to be corrected at human level, and that gives you happiness. So you have to elaborate these things in a very lucid manner, and you have to develop analytical skill, interpretive skill, using your knowledge, giving different examples, but adhering to the keywords given in the essay, that there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. So the keywords here is happiness, path. These are the keywords. And means and ends has to be used in all cases in this, that consequentialist approach, deontologist approach, you can also refer that happiness is the path itself, that what give you happiness in the life, ongoing life. It's not that for the 90% of your life you are making efforts for getting happiness in 10% of your life. So that is partly true. Like if we see social security schemes, we see insurance, we see savings that for odd times, cushion for odd times, that is only partly true. But mainly when your present is good, then the present will create future, and then there are chain of related things and they are interrelated, so that is interconnected. So you have to by and large agree with this statement. By and large, I'm not saying that any statement given is absolute statement and you have to rely on only that, otherwise there will be no concept of moksha, nirvana, kaivalya, swarga, nark, and so on, rebirth, and so on. So many believe that it's not that it's this life is real life, because whatever we see, we consider it as real, while the reality is beyond our sensual things that we can sense from surroundings. So in this way, you have to elaborate. And in conclusion, I always insist that you should not accept any given statement as absolute truth, because there are multi-dimensional things. There are the opposite aspect of the given statement as well. There are additional aspect you have to add on. You have not only to prove whatever is given. That should not be your approach in essay paper, and that your marks is awarded the way in which you use your examples, you use your theories, you use your knowledge, you adhere to the statement given, and you go beyond that statement given. That will fetch marks for you.